Hey, Web Spider. How are we doing today? We'll wait just a few minutes. Get a few people in here before we kick off here. You guys having good holidays? Don't forget to subscribe. You're not those people who target children to send money. No, no. I'm. This is one of my podcasts I do every Tuesday and Thursday. Um, uh, always some sort of business related. This week it's on crypto and whether or not it's today it's why um, well, whether it's gambling or not, and why people like Warren Buffett um, don't do crypto. So no, the only stuff I do for raising money is I have a nonprofit that I raise money for people like Jamaica after the hurricane. Um, so thanks for stopping by, folks. We're a couple minutes early, but we'll get started here in just a bit. So, um, crypto is risky. That's the understatement. Um, yeah, I mean, I do some day trading, and you know, so I've looked into pretty much all of it. Um, some more than others, but it people you know always after me. You got to do crypto. You got to do crypto. You got to do crypto, and I mean, there are some people that have made money in it. There's no doubt. Um, I've I'll be honest. I've made some money, but there's the the risk is insane, and um, but in same token, you know, I'll go to a casino, and I know when I go to a casino what the risks are. So when I go to a casino, I mean, my wife and I will have a set amount of money that we're gonna, you know, play with, and that's how much we're gonna play with. That's it. And we found that um, it there are certain ways that it lasts longer than others. Um, I've had nights that I've left with more than I went in with, but usually it's just good for some entertainment. There's nights I'll go in and I mean it's gone in a few minutes. There's nights that it lasts for hours. Um, um, but you know it's that that's me. I'm not saying that everybody's got to do that, but that's gambling. It's gambling can be addictive because it's there's that thrill of the chase and whatever. um, and that's why I titled this crypto, the first part of the segment, because there's so much in crypto. There's no way I could get it all in one podcast. And I did the first part of it is it gambling, because that's the first part of it that you have to understand. um, yeah, teaching you how to gamble. Um, there's you know, you have to know your limits, and because even in day trading, um, if you don't approach day trading the right way, day trading can be addictive and can become gambling. Um, if you don't know what you're doing in day trading, and if you don't approach it with the right rules and everything, um, day trading can be gambling. But like right now, I'm not even trading because the market is just not it's not where I like for it to be. I'm not saying you can't make money in day trading, but it's just not where I like for it to be. It's not as predictable as I like for it to be. Um, this time last year, I was making several $1,000s a day in day trading, and it got to where it you know it was maybe a couple $100s a day, and maybe I'd lose a couple $100s a day. I don't like to lose, so I just quit. I'll do it again someday. When the market's back to where it's more stable. Um, a buddy of mine, he's back trading again, so maybe I'll check it out. But crypto's a whole nother animal. So, well, what time is it? I'll wait another minute here. Um, so, everybody get what they wanted for Christmas? Hopefully, have a good Christmas. Simulators X and Roblox. Yeah, I mean, you got to be careful with simulators because um, I don't, you know, um, I'm 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 old school. I'm more even with day trading when um, when I look at trading, to me, um, I look at when I'm buying a stock, I'm buying a part of a business because that's exactly what you're doing. You're buying a part of a business. And I'm not going to buy a part of a business that I don't want to be a part of. Before I buy a part of a business, I'm going to do some research on a business. I'm going to look at short term, long term trends. If it's going up, down, I want to know why. I want to know what is causing it to move. Because if it's moving, that could be good, that could be bad. If volume is high, because as a day trader, you want volume, but you you do volume can be a bad thing. So you have to understand what you're looking at. But you're looking at a business. You have to understand that. You're looking at a business. You're buying part of a business. And sometimes you buy it and maybe things don't go the way you're hoping they're going to go, and you decide, okay, I'm not going to sell it right now. I'm going to oops. I lost my TikTok live. Hold on. There we go. So you get stuck with it, you know, and you don't want to get stuck with a stock that is a bad stock. So you don't buy a bad stock in the first place. Okay, that's the a premise. Whether you're day trading, investing, either one, that's a premise in the market. This is why guys like Warren Buffett won't do crypto. This is part of why. Because crypto, there's no business. There's nothing there. So if there's no business, it's all ethereal. It's just, you could say the people trading money, but you're not really trading money. You're you know, you have people trading, you know, things, and you're saying, you know, well, I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna say that this is worth $1 today, and tomorrow they're saying, well, I'm gonna say it's worth $2 today. Well, I'm gonna say it's worth $10 tomorrow, but then the next day they might say it's worth a quarter. And the reason that they can do that in crypto is because it has no real value. There's no value. There is nothing physically connected to this that gives it a value. Nothing. I don't know if that's making sense. Okay. And investors like Warren Buffett, someone's asking for crypto. Investors like Warren Buffett will not buy something that does not have an actual value. They won't buy something that you can't go and sell. Like if you buy gold, you're actually buying something.
A customer wants to buy 2 of your books, but I only have 1.
No, there's all of them sold.
I'm not sure. They're just not there.
There were some in the glass case.
Yeah, there was only 1 right there.
And the case out front, and then the case in.
Yeah.
Wow, because there were like 6 of them before. Okay.
Yeah. Is there a price for them?
$29.99.
29. Okay.
Yeah.
That's 2 of them.
I'll probably be back Friday. I can bring some more, or they can order them on Amazon. But if they want to wait till Friday, I'll bring some more down.
All right.
Okay. That's cool. Somebody wanting to buy some of my books. So, most investors will not buy stock in something that does not have a real value. And it, you know, because crypto is something that, number one, you can say today it's worth this, tomorrow it's worth that. That's the number one problem. The second problem is that because you can just say, hey, Logan, you can just say randomly, hey, it's worth this, then it's worth that. That's the second problem. You can't predict what it's worth. The thing that determines what it's worth is like social media. Okay, you can just say, hey, today it's worth this, and all of a sudden the price goes up. That's why you'll see Bitcoin just skyrocket, and then it'll just dump. And why? It's not like oil. Oil goes up and down based on, you know, scarcity, wars, politics. And those are all things that you can study, you can read about, you can predict. How can you predict when somebody's just going to, you know, do a bunch of social media and run the price of something up? You can't. Or how can you predict when somebody's just going to, say, oh, I changed my mind. It's not worth that anymore. So, that's why, I raised the question, is crypto really investing or is it just gambling? Okay. And the thing that really that really makes it crazy, there's over 12 million tokens um, dumped by Pump Fund alone in late 2025, thousands per day. Those are, which, let me explain that, okay? So, I don't know if you realize this or not, but anybody can launch a crypto coin. Anybody. You can, there's secured, there's unsecured. Um, you can raise $20,000 with you and your buddies, and launch a secured one, or you can do hey, thanks for the gift. You can do an unsecured, and for $100, you can launch a crypto coin in a matter of days. And if you do the right social media launch, excuse me, in a few days, that coin can be worth thousands of dollars, you know? And I mean, you can release 1 million coins if you want. And I don't know what the numbers are, but I mean, you release a bunch of coins that have zero value. They're not backed by anything. But you do, thanks for the likes, guys. They have zero value because they're backed by nothing. But you do a big social media launch. You launch them. People buy a bunch of them because you made them sound like they're worth something. They go up in value. And yeah, like the 67 coin, or 67 coin, sorry. And then what do? You you sell them, leave, and they're worth nothing. And everybody at the bottom just lost their money. Um, I mean, so keep in mind now, guys, that today is part one of crypto. Okay. Today we're just talking about why most real investors don't invest in crypto, and whether or not crypto is real investing or gambling. Thursday, we're going to talk about the scams, the hacks, the actual dirty side of crypto. Okay, and we're not even getting into that today. Okay, today we're just talking about right up front why guys like Warren Buffett, because he says it's like rat poison squared. Because it's he won't touch it. And you got to think, when one of the wealthiest men on the planet won't touch it, come on. In one of the comments here, you can't use it for anything. That was one of my big hangups for the longest time. When I was looking at crypto and trying to understand crypto, I'm like, what can I do with it? Oh yeah, you can buy it here, you can buy it there, buy it there. What do I do with it? How do I make money with it? How can I spend it? And how do I explain this? Most, almost every place that you have crypto, you have to pay to get it out. You have to pay a fee to get it out. You can trade crypto for crypto, crypto for crypto. You can do that, no problem. But to convert crypto back to dollars, you have to pay. Think of it this way: if you had your money in the bank, if you had $100 in the bank, and you went to go get your money out of the bank, and they said, "Okay, that'll be $5," what what would you say to your bank if your bank wanted $5 for you to get your $100 out of the bank? What would you say to them? But for some reason, we're okay with that in crypto. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot about crypto that for me, you know, getting into it, I didn't like, but as a day trader, I said, well, hey, I want to figure this out because I know people that have made money, and I know that people have made money. So I'm, I want to figure this thing out. Um, but for me, and like I said, I've made a little bit of money in it. But the reason I stopped trading with crypto, and it has nothing to do with what I'll talk about Thursday, because I've got a lot of people that have been hit by scams and stuff that I know. It has nothing to do with that part. The reason that I stopped trading in crypto is because it's in order to make money day trading. I'm not talking about investing. Okay. When I day trade, if I put $1,000 in a stock, I'm going to expect that I can make at least $100 off that $1,000 within an hour. That's day trading. If I can't make $100 off $1,000, it's not worth the risk. It's not. But with crypto, if I put $1,000 on crypto, it might take me a month to make $100. It just, you know, the swings are not there. I mean, they happen, but you just gotta wait so long. So for me, it was like, you know, I can day trading. I can sit there. I can look at the patterns, and I can pick 3 to 5 stocks, and I can know, okay, these stocks are going to make me money. I'm going to put my money here. I'm going to make my money. I'm done. I spend a couple hours. I'm done for the day. I've made my money. But with crypto, you know, um, like how people are asking to send Laughing Disco, you need to spend money for the virtual thing. You just send a disco. Yeah. With crypto, I mean, you're there. It's active 24/7, and so for 24/7, you're on you're watching it. You got to watch it. Do I need to sell it? Do I need to uh, um you got your alerts set and everything, and I'm like, yeah, I don't have time for this. I don't. And your money's tied up. your money's tied up in it, and then and it goes down some, and I'm like, no, no. That's why, to me, and again, not even going into, we haven't even gotten into the risk side that we're going into Thursday, because you know, um, it's there's that, and every time you go to take your money out, the fees. Oh my word, the fees eat up your gains. There have been so many times, like, oh yeah, I made some money, take it out, and I'm now I've got, yeah, no, so. I got, Web Spider here has given me some comments over on YouTube. But I'm not seeing any. Oh, there is. Um, okay. Why do I have to pay $5? Um, sorry. For some reason, my TikTok here is sideways, so I'm missing the comments. Why do you have to pay $5 to get it out? Yeah, yeah, it's because it's crypto. Every, you know, it just depends on what app you're using to trade with or platform. Um, but the thanks for the comment there about more subs. To be fair, it's funny. I've got over 11,000 on TikTok, but yeah, I've only got a little over 100 on YouTube. So spread the word. um, that's the way they get you, man. It's um, uh, you can. I think if you go from crypto to PayPal, you can get out. Their fees are lower. It's such a racket. It really is. Um, it's yeah. I don't know. Thanks for the sub, man. Whoever set it up, they set it up for a reason. They set it up to make money. And honestly, I've thought several times about launching my own coin to make money, but I don't, you know, I wrestle with whether or not it's morally right because I, I just, you know, I won't recommend crypto to anybody. So why would I launch a crypto coin? You know, um, I don't know. So the biggest, here's the thing. Even with the fees, okay, if there was a way to be able to forecast what it was going to do, the way that you can in traditional trading, because like in day trading or even investing, you can look at a stock, and there are so many forecasting tools that you can use to forecast what that stock is going to do. Not that complicated. Crypto is not like that. Crypto is all about what it's all about hype. It's all hype. It's all it is. And if it wasn't hype, you could make money. And you could make enough money to compensate for the fees. So, like, I'm not against fees because I've traded stocks where I had to pay fees, day traded. Like um, Samsung notification anyway. What are we talking about? We're talking about crypto, and is it gambling or not? Um, we're actually kind of about to wind down on it, but we're at the point talking about the fact that you can't predict it. So, um, they're was it Snowflake or whatever, Snow something or other. Um, man, I've made so much money on that stock day trading, but because it's a Canadian stock and it's not exempt, whenever I do, I have to pay fees on it. But it doesn't matter because I've made so much money when I day trade. When it goes to moving, I make a ton of money on it. So I don't care about the fees. Doesn't matter. The profit that I make way offsets any fees. But I can look at the stock, I can look at the movement that it's having, and I can, it's moving enough. There's enough volume and volatility. I can get in there and I can buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, and it's not a problem. Crypto, it's just not like that. Um, um, and oh, cool, thanks. It's you know, it's just a thing, because and part of it the price. I mean, because when you're day trading, I mean, you're usually day trading stocks that are under $30. A lot of times under $10, maybe even under a dollar. So it's easy to when you're if you're buying $10,000 worth at a time, you're buying a lot. So it doesn't have to move a lot to make money. Well, look at the price of Bitcoin. You know, I mean, it's got to move a lot for you to make money when you're only buying $10,000 worth at a time. So, you see the difference? I mean, the average person can't really make money there. And then, when you by the time you pay your fees, yeah, you're sunk. Well, I hope I helped you guys. Um, and it don't forget Thursday 2 o'clock if you're awake by then, because I know Wednesday is New Year's Eve. um, I would have just done it all in one, but it's so much to cover on crypto. Um, but so be sure to come back, mark your calendars, Thursday 2 o'clock Eastern Standard, and feel free, for the following week if you've got comments of things that you'd like for me to cover. Um, I'm all for creating wealth, starting businesses, um, you know, marketing. Last week it was on SEO. Been around a long time, so covered a lot of stuff. So let me know what you want me to cover next week. You get something fresh and exciting. Um, Unfortunately, this is live TikTok and YouTube, so I can't dance naked on here for you. Plus, that'd probably scare everybody away. So, let's find something fun to do. Any questions that I didn't cover for today? I hope today made sense for you guys. I know the biggest thing for me is that um, crypto never really made sense until I really dug into it to start trading it. So I really kind of wanted to help, make sense out of it. Um, and Thursday, I'm really gonna peel it back even more, so you can really understand. Because there's I don't know if you realize this or not, but when you get into the scams, there's a reason why the scammers always use crypto. And I'm going to explain why. It's not just because they like crypto, but it's what it exposes about you. That's what we're going to get into Thursday. Because what you don't realize is that by using crypto, you can be exposing your entire identity. Most people don't realize that. So, all right. Well, I will see you guys Thursday. Thanks for stopping by.